So this idea of doing botanicals and leaves just started with the Hilma F. Klimt show at the MoMA right now that has these amazing botanical drawings. I love her palettes she kind of does there. Yeah, and these are so simple and beautiful. Oh, I should get mushrooms. I'll see if I can get some mushrooms by tomorrow. Um, yeah, and so we are going to look at natural elements. I have all those plants in there right now. I'll get some more things. I brought some leaves home. But a lot of the early botanicals were done by women like Marianne North, and that was really the only way they could travel around the world, is they would become part of expeditions to categorize nature that was all over the world. So that was like a great way if you wanted to see the world to escape the boring life in wherever, England or wherever you were. But then I started looking at some other of my favorite kind of botanical painters, and this is Albrecht Dürer. And I was realizing how much I love the palette, which is not really a real life natural one often. It's what reminds me of what's called tonalism. We'll look at later in this, but it's a muted, dramatic, moody kind of palette. And just then I started thinking about all the, some of the older Japanese painters I love. This is Caspar David. And I just thought we should do a class looking at this. Rousseau, I love, but that's a whole different kind of thing. More fantastical, magic realism. Even the water lilies, these are botanicals. We don't think of them as that, but they are. They are paintings of wildlife that he studied closely. So there's just so many cool things you could do. I wish I had even more objects. I think I'm going to make it my goal to get like a collection. But I mean, how do you do like even a simple leaf? This Max Ernst, completely unrealistic, but yet, we know it's leaves. There's so many options. Brock, the simplified, even these like colorful botanicals that are not related to what we really see. So a few of my favorite kind of painters of plants and leaves is Milton Avery, and this is also kind of a tonalist palette. You could totally simplify tomorrow. We are actually going to do 4 different paintings on paper. So I'm hoping that each one you will try like a different. So right now your job, if you choose to accept it, is to look at all of these different types of offerings of botanical painting. And consider what 4 different palettes could you do. I want to really lean into color. These are actually, I think these are specimens of seaweed, but I thought these were really inspiring, and I'm going to try and get some seaweed. But you could even, if you don't want to use one in real life, you could use something like this and paint a painting based on this. So maybe at the end I'll explain more what I'm thinking, but I'm hoping that at the end of the class you'll have 4 different botanical paintings that are all different. Hiroshige is one of my favorite painters, you might know, and his botanical paintings are so not exactly of the actual colors. Same with Georgia O'Keeffe. She did a lot of leaf paintings, and obviously they were amped up, contrasted up. They were not really the colors in nature, I'm sure, but she took what was there and changed it, altered it, which I hope you do one of yours in this, in this kind of style. So some great contemporary painters. Hilary Peckus is awesome. Again, her palette is not of the natural world exactly, so you could really play with it. She does a lot of she'll have a similarity in all of them and then kind of have objects pop out. You could do fall colors, you could do spring colors, you could use the images we have, you could pull up images on your computer to use. I love this one of the leaves, but I do have all those plants in right now, so I will be trying to get those as close to you as possible so you can paint actual leaves if you want to. And Jonas Wood got famous for that's what he's most famous for, is his plant paintings. And again, he really plays with line, shape, pattern, color, shadow. These are all things you should be thinking of. Yeah, and then there's the really abstracted versions too you could do. I love Taboo, contemporary painter. I love this wall that they did. Again, a nice simple background, a bright background with simple objects. And then of course Lois Dodd, who, what would a video be without her in there? So again, she's really has these kind of monochromatic palettes, contrasty palettes. So I hope you're finding inspiration because you have a lot of paintings to do tomorrow. And so then what we're going to do is you are going to base the 4 exercises on palette. And so the first one we're going to do, I mean, not, you don't do this in order, but these are the 4 I would recommend you really play with. One of them would be a realistic leaf painting where you actually try to match the colors on your leaf, which is just a great color mixing. I'll have some recipes there for you. Like this is not exactly the color, but you can imagine it's closer to a leaf color. Tonalist leaf painting, and again, tonalist paintings are like paintings like Whistler, George Inness, these kind of muted, really moody colors, use a lot of browns, greens, blues, um, and yeah, and so it just makes, I think it'd be really fun to do a leaf painting that's these colors. And again, I have recipes for you. And then they end up looking, I did this quickie, a little bit like this. You can imagine a more beautiful version. And your palette ends up looking like this. A playful palette you could do where the colors are not, they're more like George O'Keeffe and they've been amped up a little bit, not what real life is. And then maybe just one old-fashioned palette, which could be even just the ultramarine burnt umber white, which I thought would be really lovely, which is very close to Tonalist. But okay, see you tomorrow. Bring in images of or a plant if you want. Okay, bye.